The Gospel of the Lord. Today, the American Church celebrates Respect Life Sunday. This day, which celebrates the dignity of all human life, occurs on the first Sunday of October each year, which is Respect Life Month. It is equally fitting that we celebrate this commemoration during October, because, as I mentioned last week, October is also the month of the Rosary. So it's fitting we should have this month celebrating the beauty and the dignity of life be under the protection of Mary through the Rosary. Mary, who was the most perfect mother to have walked the surface of the earth. Also, I hope you've been diligently praying your rosaries like I encouraged you to last week, but that's beside the point. Respect Life Sunday and month are not ultimately politically oriented commemorations. While yes, these 2-day and month-long tributes were instituted in response to the Roe v. Wade Supreme Court decision in '73, the principle behind what we are celebrating is latent within all human life and predates the 1973 event absolutely. In fact, the notion that human life has an inherent dignity is so foundational to what it means to be human, it is found at the very onset of our creation story. Now, I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of the Genesis creation story. That's a different homily for a different day. What I do want to point out is that when it comes to human beings, the writer states that in his image and likeness he created them. The he is God and the them us. We, from the very beginning, are claimed to have been created in the image of God. No other creature has this distinction, and for the sake of the one after which we were imaged, we have the dignity beyond all other creatures. It's like a sculptor. A statue which is fashioned after George Washington will have a greater dignity in America than, say, one fashioned after my father. Well, in the realm of creation, the creature who is fashioned after the Creator himself will have a greater dignity than a creature who is not. This is because we bear his image in our soul, in our intellect, in our will, and this image has rights which are intrinsic to it. For the sake of argument, just as it could be considered wrong in the U.S. to desecrate something which is imaged after George Washington, it is likewise truly more so wrong to desecrate something in the universe which is fashioned after the image of the Creator, God himself, because by extension it is as if we are desecrating God through his image. Now this dignity is exponentially compounded when Christ, the Son of God, the second person of the Trinity, God himself, became a human being. Our dignity, which already had pride in place amongst the material world, was elevated beyond recognition to be higher than the angels, literally. Our second reading from today touches on this mystery of the incarnation. The letter written to the Hebrews states that he through whom all things exist was made lower than the angels. Further, he is not ashamed to call us brothers. Just think about how incredible that is. For the God of the universe has deigned to come down to become human, and he is not ashamed to call us his brothers. We have been scooped up into the life of his family, the Trinity. And because of that, we have a dignity which demands a certain reverence and respect, out of honor not only for whom we have been fashioned after, but also because Christ became one of us. I always love to see how the readings of the day correlate with the celebrations and happenings of this world. The responsorial psalm petitions God that we may be blessed all the days of our life. He is asking that our dignity be respected throughout all of our lives. He doesn't qualify what all of our lives means either. All of our lives indicates from the beginning to the end. All of it. It should be noted that this also implies a natural beginning and a natural end, because anything unnatural reduces us to something below nature. It's against nature. It's unnatural. Anyway, this dignity which is inherent in each one of us has various rights and responsibilities connected. We have a right to be close to God, which is a freedom of religion. The disciples were rebuking those who wanted to bring their children to Christ in the gospel, but Jesus turned to them and showed that they have an inherent right to him, as does everybody else. Children have the same rights which flow from their dignity as adults do. There is no discrimination in size or state of life, or physical abilities or lack thereof. We are all human, and we all have the right to be treated as human. Let us never forget this fact. We are created in God's image and likeness, and Christ became one of us. This shows how much worth we have in the eyes of God, and how much he was willing to endure for our sake. This Respect Life Sunday and this Respect Life Month, let us strive to see that dignity in each and every single person that we meet. And even harder still, let us see that dignity within ourselves, that we may do homage to the honor bestowed upon us.